What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Diamond Standard YouTube channel at The Collector. We're going to be going into day number 12, game number 1. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out. Game number 1 is going to be against a nature deck. And we're going to have a decent opening hand, keeping some low costs and a Ragnarok. At this point, I don't think I want to do too much. I kind of want to let him pile up his board and then clear it all at once. He will get a little bit of a lead on me. He plays the Amazon. I decide to Ragnarok to clear the board and save my Blight Bomb because I know he will put something out there. He decided to kill that little hoplite. At this point, I decided to put the Petulant Imp out instead of ping damage because I get a 2-2 instead of a 1-1, and I want to be able to get down some damage to Blight Bomb the 2-4 with Ally, but he is not going to allow that to happen. Then he Fey Flame Blades and clears my entire board. At this point, I am pretty much panicking. Another Amazon Archer to ping everything I have, and he's pretty much in total control at this point. Probably should have Ray disintegrated the Archer because he's just going to be able to clear anything that happens. Kill the Archer, but at this point it's just about too late. And he's super wide. And that's pretty much guaranteed GG. But as always, I play it all the way to the end. Heading into game number 2 with 0 wins and 1 loss. Game number 2 is going to be against a nature deck. I'm going to start with a pretty expensive hand, but I have a little bit of control, which makes me feel good. He plays an Amazon with Ward. Not looking so great to start, but I get the Scepter out. He gets an Archer, and then an Amazon with Ridgeon and +1 health, which is going to be not perfect for me. I'm still looking to get wide. He summons a Dagon. But lucky for me, I have Curse of Greed, so I'm just going to get rid of that all at once. I saved that Ragnarok because I believe he's going to keep being threatening and getting wider as Amazons tend to do. They play out thick. So at this point, I Ragnarok and play the Decaying Rhino because I want to try to get ahead if I can. He is getting super wide, but that also leads me to believe that he fears he's not going to be able to stay in the lead. I want to get my Scepter out there. Unfortunately, he then pumps the creature that I should have killed. I'm very nervous. At this point, he's going to be able to deliver the damage to win, and in fact, he does. Almost have it, but not quite, and I am able to clear his board at this point and gain some heal and knock down some of his favor, and he had almost nothing in his hand. And this is where big comebacks happen. And just like that, I am healing for quite a bit each turn. I decide to ping him and just try to put the damage down. And he surrenders, headed into game number 3 with 1 win and 1 loss. Going to be facing a death deck. That tends to be a pretty difficult challenge. It's about whoever makes the right decision. He's playing a little bit of control, it appears. Growing the Fickle as large as possible, but he has a Curse of Greed. So I get the Decaying Rhino out there. I didn't really have anything I could play which is a terrible waste of a turn, but it happens. I probably should have played Arch, but I decided Necroceptor because when I played Arch, it would have or knocked down his favor killing the zombies, but I go Arch that time to just get the zombie spawn out there. And the 5 damage that his Hortuck will do may kill the Rhino, but the Rhinos aren't going to be my win condition. If I'm able to get down enough zombies, I can win. And he knows that Corpse Explosion is what I'm trying to do to win. And in fact, I still have enough damage to do that. So headed into game 4 with 2 wins and 1 loss. This is a good start to the day, but will it stay that way? I have a super strong opening hand. I really like to save Ragnarok into this kind of deck because I know he will bust out a lot of creatures with armor and to try to buff them. I want to play Scepter, but it's more important to get rid of the creature that grows every turn and I will have to waste a big spell on. At this point, I know that the Scepter is a good idea, so I decide to play that and keep it moving. It comes down to the Skeletal Hoplite, and I am trying to get the Ragnarok off at this point so I can clear his entire board. He then gives everything protected, which is going to allow him to have enough damage this turn and next in order to kill me. So that is not a great situation. And he anticipated that kind of board clear, which is pretty wise, especially with a free card. And I lose. So I will be headed into game number 5 with 2 wins and 2 losses. I forgot to film game number 5, but I lost that game. So game number 6, I will be headed into that with 2 wins and 3 losses. And I will be facing a nature deck. I'm going to have a really solid opening hand here with a Skeletal Hoplite going in. I'm not sure at this point what kind of nature deck I'm facing, but I just want to get my Scepter out there moving as fast as possible. Burning Talisman is a large pain, so I'm going to do everything I can to work around that. I certainly don't want to give regeneration to too many creatures. At this point, though, I kind of want to go face and get the Bronze Servant so I can remove the Talisman. That's huge for me, because that allows me to get around that, and I don't really have any control in my deck. He then wastes the Fury on my Skeletal Hoplite, and that is huge. It just pings right into his armor. He Deadly Darts my Decaying Rhino, but I am still likely going to have enough damage to pretty much win this turn or next. And at this point, if he doesn't heal a whole bunch, I would have Ragnarok and my God Power, which is enough to win. But even then, I had enough damage to just do it, and he surrenders. So headed into game number 7 with 3 wins and 3 losses. Gonna be against a death deck. And at this point, I always like to assume they're a pretty good player if they have a basic board and they're still this pretty far in. And as a little spoiler on what is to come, soon I will be revealing every match what my rank is, so that you're able to have a little bit more idea of what level of play I am at and what you could anticipate if you were to reach this deck level and where you may see me. At this point, he is running a pretty similar combo to me, and I'm wanting to put down enough damage that I'm able to get the Bronze Servant. He pulls out Cairo and does a ton of killing. He is almost able to get the servant, but I got there first. I decide to murk off that Kyra so he's not wasting my entire board every turn. Unfortunately, he's ahead on the board at this point. I kill his decaying rhino before he's able to really capitalize on it. But he is still in the lead at the moment. I am putting out the scepter and looking to try to just get some kind of control on him. He takes a moment to think about what the correct thing to do is and then pulls out his scepter. I have the bronze servant though, so that is likely going to put him at a disadvantage here in just a moment. I then destroy his scepter and kill his zombie, trying to get his heal off the board as soon as possible. He busts out the zombies. So we're running a pretty similar combo. He's got a little bit, some newer cards. His deck got wide very quickly. I'm having to think about what my best move is. I kind of just want to control him at this point and get wide myself, hoping he doesn't bust a corpse explosion out before I do. Because I have a pretty bad feeling he's going to be able to control me and then a corpse explosion to win. And he is still wide at this point. He does not put damage down on my obelisk, and that's what leads me to think he's holding the corpse explosion in his hand or going to pull it with this card draw. I put out another Swarm Lord, and I'm able to ping. So that gets me 3 2/2 zombies, but then he swings all out, and I know he has corpse explosion. And in fact, he does. So that's GG, headed into game number 8 with 3 wins and 4 losses. 3 wins and 4 losses. I have a pretty strong opening hand into a mage deck. I don't know what to anticipate from him yet. I start second. He has to waste a lot of spells to just kill my creatures, and then he made his deck smaller for every creature of the mana cost of 1. So I know that he is likely going to try to bust out the school teacher combo, and so we will have to see what he is able to do, or if he is able to get it. Drawing a card, and the idea of that deck is to get uh, as many cards out until you have the combo in hand as possible, and when he starts to play creatures, I suspect he has the combo. And all I can do is keep trying to throw damage down. I am pretty wide. He needs to come up with it. I would be pretty fortunate if I drew Corpse Explosion this next turn, because I at this point anticipate if I don't pull Corpse Explosion, he will win. But I don't need it because I am able to get just enough damage down to win. Headed into game number 9 with 4 wins and 4 losses. Going pretty even so far. It's not too bad. It is better to go positive, but we will see. Facing a deception deck, this is going to be a good match, I anticipate. They can take quite some time because they are a little bit of a control style deck. I am always nervous to put my scepter out because I anticipate they could have counterfeit. Very, very tough to face the scepter, and that just goes to show how strong the scepter actually is. While relic removal is common, they still have to pull into it. He has so many echo casters, it is going to put down a ton of damage stop, and then he puts out a pyrotechnic cannon, and I am concerned that that will clear my board, but if I save my creatures until I get a corpse explosion, that is fine. He comes out with quite a bit of damage still, and controlling my board also. I do pull the corpse explosion, but he killed enough of my creatures. I don't think that it's the best move I could have, so I just Ragnarok and try to clear his board also. Because that's basically what his deck seems to do, is slowly control and ping down whatever his style is. It's not very familiar to me, but I'm trying to adapt quickly. Heals with the package, the little Christmas package. He has thievery. He is still playing cards out of my deck at this point, or not my deck, but my domain. And I am just trying to get enough damage down to win at this point, because I anticipate he is trying to find his combo. And he Ragnaroks, setting up to kill everything, and he returns everything to our hands. I just play everything that had burned and let it go with my scepter again, just so I'm not losing hand space, as I anticipate mill might be something he's trying to do. Then he took my scepter, and I knew that was going to make it difficult because he was going to have heal. I need to try to kill all of his creatures so his zombies stay as small as I can keep them. Witherspoon. I'm not able to kill everything this turn, but my creatures are still large enough he should have a difficult time killing them himself. He damages me, traps, looks at my hand, decides what he wants me to get rid of. One corpse explosion. I still have one in hand, but that leads me to fear he's going to have some kind of mill effect. I play that, and I'm worried he's going to have rapture. But he has the rapture, and I put the Voracious Fiend out, so I got 2 zombies out of that, and I knew he'd have a tough time getting through that in one turn. Still, at this point, he has a lot of control. I'm just looking to try to stall as long as possible and prevent him from putting damage down. I don't want him to play Oni. And of course, he plays an Oni. Nether Swarm Lord, I need to try to draw some cards, but at this point I start to get pretty worried as he has a full hand. And still a Scepter. And then he just plays enough damage to try to put it down. I pull the Bronze Servant thinking I can waste his weapon and then maybe make a comeback, but we will see. Very difficult still at this point, as he still has a full hand of cards. Wither. I can put some damage down, but it won't be enough. I try to take his heal away. I want him to play some more of his creatures out before I Ragnarok, but really, waiting honestly only leads to my demise further. He takes my heal. At this point, I think my only choice is to Ragnarok. I know I should have 1 hit point left if he doesn't have something in his hand that can make him end the game. He did not, but it basically, I ended anyway because I didn't think I would be able to post a comeback, so I'm headed into game 10 with 4 wins and 5 losses, and I make a very short filming of that as I get a victory. So my overall results are 5 wins and 5 losses. I earned 10.675 gods. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.